Let's get one thing straight before you scroll down to the comments to correct my math. I know $1 million is a bigger number than 10 grand. I'm a wallet. I can count. But we aren't talking about math. We are talking about suffering. A million surely solve all your money problems. You can actually sleep on sheets with a thread count higher than your current credit score. You can eat food that doesn't come in a cardboard box, waking up without an alarm clock. But getting there, specifically getting to that first $10,000, that is a nightmare. Mathematically, the idea seems stupid. $10,000 is 1% of a million. It should be the warm-up. It should be the easy part. It's a rounding error for the wealthy. But math is a liar. The first $10,000 is a war. It is a war against your habits, a war against your biology, and a war against a system designed to keep me, your wallet, empty. I've lived in your pocket. I've seen things. I've seen you tap your card for that third round of drinks when you knew rent was due in 2 days. I felt the sweat on your palms when the cashier said, "Card declined." I have been sat on, thrown on tables, and emptied out for things you didn't actually want just to impress people you don't actually like. I know why you're stuck. Most people think money is linear. You work 1 hour, you get paid 1 hour. You save $1, you have $1. But wealth isn't linear. It's exponential. And the problem with exponential curves is that at the beginning, they look flat, dead flat. Getting to $10,000 is like trying to push a car that's in park, uphill, in the mud. You are pushing against static friction. You are pushing against gravity. You are pushing against the fact that ordering pizza feels better than cooking rice. But getting from $10,000 to $1 million, that's like driving the car downhill. The heavy lifting is done. The machine takes over. Today, I'm going to explain why the start is so brutal and why, if you can just cross this one tiny finish line, the rest of the race runs itself. Let's talk physics. In rocketry, there's a concept called escape velocity. A rocket burns about 90% of its fuel just to get off the ground and break through the Earth's atmosphere. 90% of the effort goes into the first 10% of the journey. Why? Because Earth wants to keep the rocket down. Gravity is jealous. It drags you back. Your finances work the exact same way. When you are at $0, or worse, in debt, you have financial gravity pulling you down. When you are broke, everything is more expensive. It costs money to be poor. If you can't afford good boots that cost $100 and last 10 years, you buy cheap boots for $20 that last 1 year. Over 10 years, the rich guy spent $100. You spent $200, and you still have wet feet. This is your life under $10,000. You pay late fees because you didn't have the cash on time. You pay overdraft fees because you miscalculated by $4. You pay a higher interest rate on your car loan because your credit score is trash. You are bleeding money simply because you don't have money. This is why the first $10K feels impossible. You are trying to fill a bucket that has holes in it. You save $500 and your car needs new brakes. Boom, back to zero. You save $300 and your friend gets married in another state. Boom, plane ticket, back to zero. You save $50 and you get a parking ticket, back to zero. It feels like you are running on a treadmill. You are sweating, you are working hard, but the scenery never changes. This is where most people quit. They look at the math and say, I saved for 6 months and I have nothing to show for it. I might as well buy the new iPhone. And I get it. I'm a wallet. I love being filled with cash, but I also understand why you empty me. It's painful to sacrifice for a future that feels fake. But here is the secret. The holes in the bucket get smaller as the water gets higher. Once you hit $10,000, you stop paying overdraft fees. You stop paying late fees. You can buy the $100 boots. The financial gravity gets weaker. But until you get there, you are fighting physics. And physics never fights fair. Let's get into your head for a second. It's messy in there. When you have less than $10,000, your brain is in survival mode. Survival mode is great if you are running from a bear. It is terrible if you are trying to build wealth. When you are in survival mode, your brain shrinks your timeline. You can't think about 5 years from now. You can barely think about next week. You are hyper-focused on now. This is why you buy things you don't need. When you have $500 in the bank, spending $50 on a nice dinner feels good. It feels like a reward for surviving another week at a job you hate. But mathematically, that $50 was 10% of your net worth. You just ate 10% of your wealth in one sitting. When you have $1 million, a $50 dinner is 0.005% of your wealth. It's a rounding error. It doesn't register. The psychological weight of saving the first $10,000 is heavy because you see no results. Let's say you invest $1,000. You are disciplined. You are a monk. You put it in the stock market and get a great return, 10%. At the end of the year, you check your account. You made $100. Who cares? $100? That pays for your internet bill. Maybe. You sacrificed for a whole year. You took the risk. And your reward is a dinner for two at a mid-range restaurant. It feels pointless. Your brain screams, why bother? Let's just spend it. This is the valley of despair. This is where dreams go to die. Compare that to the guy with $1 million. He does nothing. He sits on his couch eating grapes. He gets the same 10% return. He made $100,000. He made six figures by doing nothing. This is why first $10,000 is harder. You have to do 100% of the work for 1% of the reward. You are pushing the boulder, but the boulder isn't helping you yet. You have to be disciplined without the dopamine hit of seeing big numbers. You have to trust a process that feels like it's broken. You aren't just saving money. You are fighting your own evolution. Your brain wants the dopamine now. Saving is literally causing you physical pain. I feel it. Every time you walk past a sale and don't buy anything, I feel your pulse jump. I know you want to open me up. Resisting that urge is the hardest work you will ever do. Let's talk about the system. The world is designed to extract money from people who have a little bit and give it to people who have a lot. When you are trying to save your first $10,000, you are fragile, and fragility is expensive. If your car engine blows up tomorrow and it costs $3,000 to fix, and you only have $3,000 saved, you are back to zero. The emotional damage of that is massive. You feel like the universe is punching you specifically in the face. But if you have $1 million, a $3,000 car repair is nothing. It's an annoyance. You pay it and move on. You don't lose sleep. You don't lose momentum. This is why getting started is so hard. You are trying to build a sandcastle while the tide is coming in. Every wave threatens to wipe out everything you built. And then there is the social pressure. Your friends want to go to Cancun. They want to go to the club. They want to get bottomless brunch. When you are on the journey to your first $10,000, you have to say no. Saying no is socially expensive. You become the boring friend. You become the cheapskate. Come on, it's just one night out, they say. They don't understand that for you, that one night out sets you back 3 weeks. When you are rich, you can say no because you are busy or focused. When you are poor, saying no looks like you are failing. You have to carry the shame of being the one who counts pennies. I've been in your pocket when you pretended to look at a text message so you didn't have to order another drink. I know the feeling. It sucks. But here is the line you need to remember. You aren't saving money to buy things. You are saving money to buy your sleep back. The first $10,000 isn't about the money. It's about buying the right to not panic when your boss calls you into his office. It's about buying the ability to sleep when the car makes a weird noise. You are purchasing your own peace of mind. And peace of mind is expensive. But then, something happens. You hit $10,000. Maybe it took you 2 years. Maybe it took you eating instant noodles until your sodium levels were toxic. But you did it. You see 5 figures in your banking app. Suddenly, the world changes. First, the math starts to wake up. Remember that 10% return? Now, 10% of $10,000 is $1,000. $1,000 is real money. That's a flight. That's a new laptop. That's a month of rent. Suddenly, your money is working hard enough to actually pay for things. You realize, wait, I didn't have to work for this $1,000. My army of dollars went out and captured it for me. This is the addictive part. This is where the snowball starts rolling. But the bigger shift is inside your head. When you have $10,000 saved, you walk differently. You have what we call go to hell money. Not big go to hell money, you can't buy an island, but little go to hell money. If your boss yells at you, you don't panic. You think, I could quit today and be fine for 4 months. That thought changes your energy. You become more confident. You negotiate better. Paradoxically, needing the job less makes you better at the job, which usually leads to making more money. You stop operating in survival mode and start operating in strategy mode. Instead of asking, how do I pay rent? You ask, where do I invest? You stop playing defense and start playing offense. But here is the danger zone. I have seen this happen 1,000 times. You hit $10,000, you feel rich, you feel safe, and you think, I deserve a treat. So you buy the car, or the watch, or the vacation. And just like that, you are back at zero. You climbed the mountain and then jumped off the cliff. Do not do this. That $10,000 is not spending money. It is a seed. If you eat the seed, you will never grow the tree. The first $10,000 is the hardest because you are doing it alone. No compound interest, no safety net, just brute force discipline. But once you have it, you have a silent partner. Your money starts working shifts while you sleep. If you are at $0 right now, or $500, or $5,000, listen to me. This sucks. I know it sucks. It feels slow and it feels unfair, but you are in the hardest part of the game right now. If you can beat this level, the next level is easier. Keep filling the bucket, ignore the holes, push the boulder. Because once you push it over the edge, gravity starts working for you instead of against you. Stop trying to look rich. Start trying to be free. And put your credit card back in the slot. We aren't buying that.